Today we are taking a small step to reduce the number of people in our jails. As a measure to protect our detention deputies, their families, the remainder of our inmate population, and ultimately our community, with the support of Chief Judge Ron Figueroa, who is standing here with me, we have taken an emergency measure to release from custody 164 inmates who were arrested for low-level, nonviolent crimes. These defendants are the lowest public safety risk and were merely sitting in jail because they could not afford to pay the amount it would take to bond out. These defendants will still have to answer to the charges against them. It is my hope that these individuals will make the most of this opportunity to be with their loved ones, help them prepare, comfort them, and quarantine with them. We cannot risk unnecessarily exposing our deputies to this virus.
An inmate let out of jail amid coronavirus concerns is now back behind bars, charged with murder. Deputies say that homicide happened the day after his release. 8 on Your Side's Justin Shecker has been following this story for us all day. What does the sheriff have to say about this, Justin?
Stacey, good evening. Sheriff Chronister says this murder suspect took advantage of a health emergency to commit more crimes while waiting the resolution of a nonviolent, lower-level offense. He's calling the state attorney to prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. Tonight, 26-year-old Joseph Williams is locked up again in a Hillsborough County jail, this time for second-degree murder. 8 on Your Side has learned he's one of the 164 inmates released on March 19th, following an administrative order aimed at reducing the risk of a COVID-19 outbreak in the county's detention facilities.
We want to protect our employees here. We want to protect the remainder of the jail population. And we also feel these low-level, nonviolent offenders will be better served home with their families.
Deputies say Williams is the suspect from a shooting homicide in the Progress Village area that took place the day after he left HCSO custody. Back on March 13th, deputies booked Williams into the jail on possession of heroin and drug paraphernalia charges 6 days before his release. The sheriff says in a statement to 8 on Your Side, every murder, every violent crime, especially those involving a gun, is a sickening example of the worst in our community, especially at a time when our community is working relentlessly to fight against the spread of this deadly COVID-19. And we've learned Williams is a convicted felon. His criminal history dates back to 2012. He's been arrested for a total of 35 charges. Now, deputies tell 8 on Your Side during the release of those inmates back in March, they excluded those charged with felonies or domestic violence and those inmates already serving a sentence. Live in Ybor City, I'm Justin Shecker, 8 on Your Side.
As a measure to protect our detention deputies, their families, the remainder of our inmate population, and ultimately our community,